They're gonna come back from the day and I'm gonna have to hear about it, and then they're gonna get into bed next to me.
I know it's next to you, yeah. You've done so well. You're doing so well. So, like, it's crap, but you can do it. You can do it.
I know different people have different opinions about Kaz crying, but I feel like, Kaz has really carried herself in a positive way. I think seeing how other people have been treated by producers and the editors, she's tried to sort of avoid giving them anything that they might use negatively against her. So, the fact that she's avoided having any confrontations with Tyler, she's avoided sort of getting involved in that sort of relationship between Tyler and Hannah and being sort of part of a love triangle. I think Toby was right to sort of encourage her to continue to stay on the course that she's on, because at the end of the day, whether she had cried or whether she had kicked off should have been portrayed negatively. Some people like Molly can cry and people will empathize, but if Kaz cries, then it comes across negatively. They will use that against her, or she's being jealous of Hannah, or she's doing that. So I give, Toby a lot of credit for sort of standing beside her and being the friend that she needed her, and she comforting her and making sure she is aware that she is better than what she's receiving from the show and the guys at the moment, and that is not a reflection of who she is, and she shouldn't take it personally. But anyway, I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button and turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island UK All Stars Season 1 Episode 12. So obviously the game is finished and you have Molly talking to the girls, sort of moaning about the fact that, oh, he slept with 16 girls. I haven't slept with more than 5 people, since I started having sex. And it's like, why are you asking the girls to ask you how many people you've had sex with? That is irrelevant. That has nothing to do with the case. It's either you still take him back regardless of the number of people he slept with, or you move on. There's no need for you to bring this up. This is not necessary. And I don't know why she even bothered sort of bringing it up. You then have, Callum speaking, and of all people, Josh and Tyler, sort of telling them that, I had sex with 16 people. I was honest about it, and that's what it is. And for them to say, yes, you were honest during your relationship, you didn't cheat on her, and afterwards you're single. And it's like, what are you supporting, really? What are you supporting? This is not something that all of you should be encouraging, so I don't get why you are encouraging this sort of behavior. I think you should be giving him sound advice. He should apologize maybe to Molly and just say, I'm sorry your feelings were hurt, but I was single and I was doing me, and I know this might not sound great, but it is what it is, and move on. You have Arabella complaining about being called fake, and it's like, it's not a big deal. Just ignore them. Chris is going to be petty. That's who he is. And if you're going to go into the mud with him, you're the one who's going to come out dirtier. Just ignore him. You broke up with him. Try and explore connections with other people, or pack your bags and go home, and that's it. You don't need to continue to iron out or to sort of go over this issue. It's not necessary. And then for Georgia S had me fooled. I thought she was very naive. I thought she was a very sweet girl. And so to see her, make herself Toby's victim and cry the way she cried, and then suddenly she's with Callum, and now she's hopping from Callum to Tom. My empathy for her has gone out the window. I'm sorry. My empathy for her has gone out the window. I have nothing to say. For her to pretend to play truth or dare, she had questions she wanted to ask him, and that's how she decided to do it. The fact that she brought up the fact that, he came up to see her, and that was old school. And it's like, why are you trying to force a connection when it's not there? He has moved on. Tom is not a prize, really. He's not the greatest of guys, so I don't know why you're making all that effort. The producers are messy as can be, because they immediately send a text message to say the Hideaway is open, and guess who shouted? I think it was Josh. I didn't see who screamed, but somebody shouted that, Georgia and Callum, and it's like, this is not the time. Georgia's just been telling Tom that she doesn't feel Callum as much as she feels him. So for you to send her to the Hideaway, that doesn't sort of tally with what she's trying to arrange. She's trying to switch off smoothly from Callum to Tom. So if you're sending her to the Hideaway, Hideaway. What does she do? Anyway, she gets ready for the Hideaway. Callum is excited. The guys are ecstatic. And then as he walks off, they shout, "Make it, do us proud and let this be number 17." And it's like, why? Why are you so messy and so petty? You can see Tom is not happy. Tom feels some type of way. I don't know whether this is going to put him off, especially if Georgia S has sex with Callum, given the fact that she said she really likes Tom. So hey, it is what it is. Never would I have thought that Toby would be the voice of reason. So he's having the conversation with Chris, and I don't even know why he's wasting his energy, because Chris feels some type of way because Sophie during the game said if she had her choice she would have chosen Josh. And it's like, why does he feel some type of way? He played everybody, including Arabella, so that Arabella could pick him. So please sit down. I don't have any empathy for you. Yes, your little boy ego was bruised, but also at the same time you've just disrespected somebody else. So I'm really have no sympathy for you, Chris. Good luck to you. You have Georgia in the Hideaway playing dress up, and then she makes out with Callum and she tells him, "Oh, I really like you. I've never had, a serious guy who's like you, a good guy." And it's like, girl, please. You were just talking to Tom just a few minutes ago. Now you're telling Callum what he wants to hear. Which is the real Georgia? Is it the sweet girl who was crying that she really liked Toby and Toby said you wanted to explore other connections? Or is it the player who's trying to play the boys in the villa, forgetting that, this is being recorded on TV, and also these guys will talk to one another and will find out the truth? Make that make sense? Anyway, you then have her making out in bed. They didn't show us whether they had sex, but I have a feeling if they did, the producers wouldn't have shown us, just because everybody else is getting ready for bed. And you have Georgia H sort of saying to Molly, this has worked out better for you. And I think to some extent, yes, in the sense that Georgia S is now in the Hideaway with Callum. If she has sex with Callum, it's going to be difficult for her to sort of explain to Tom how she still wants to explore a connection when she's had sex with somebody else. You then have everybody in the bedroom sort of having a conversation and just happy-go-lucky. And Tom and Molly kissed in bed. Did you hear that? Tom and Molly kissed in bed. So Molly really likes Tom then. Or maybe she's just doing it because she's trying to get her own back at Callum. But I don't think she's that vindictive. I think she kissed him because she likes him. So, hey, new couple alert. So everybody goes to bed, and in the morning, obviously, the couple come back from the Hideaway. And for Mitch to ask, did you have plenty of kisses? And it's like, why would you ask that? Why? Why would you ask that? And you could see that Tom felt some type of way. I think Tom likes Georgia S, but at the same time he doesn't like the idea that she's been moving crazy in the villa. So I don't know whether he's going to even bother to try and explore that again, or whether he's just going to take a step back. In the morning there is a debrief, and thank God it was a very short debrief. So you have Molly tell Arabella that she did kiss, Tom in bed, which is a great surprise because she hasn't even agreed to kiss anyone else. Yes, Chris caught her off guard the first time, but she hasn't wanted to kiss anyone else. I think because of finding out that Callum had sex with 16 people, she's now open to exploring connections with other people. Tom is asked, how did you feel about, Georgia S going to the Hideaway? And he sort of says, he doesn't want to mess up with two people. He already had a conversation with her and they were playing truth or dare, and everybody just rolled their eyes because they know what was happening there. And then the two Georgias are having a conversation, and Georgia S is saying, she sees the potential of Callum being, an amazing, she more or less hinted at a life partner, but then she also said, oh, Tom and I had a conversation and it was very flirty, and we are always very flirty when we talk. And it's like, okay, why are you saying all this to Georgia H? Georgia H is very close friends with Molly. Are you saying it so that she can take it back to Molly and Molly can sort of be on guard, or are you saying it because you really like Tom? Which is it? I don't like the games that Georgia S is playing. I really don't. So I don't know. We'll see how it plays out, but it's very messy and very toxic at the moment. So Molly and Tom sit down for a chat after the debriefing. Molly seems very happy and she seems very excited. And I remember she was asked, are you open because Callum had sex with 16 girls, or you're just open because this is what you want to do? And she said, no, she really likes Tom, so she wants to give him a chance. They seem to get along very well. Tom, I think, is surprised that he's punching above his weight and he's managed to sort of get away with it, more or less, because I don't think he expected Molly to like him. And so the fact that she does like him is something that's just come out of left field, and he's trying his best to be on his best behavior. You have Georgia, pull him up to the terrace, and it's like, why are you pulling him up to the terrace? Why are you constantly going after guys that are with Molly? Why can't you pick your own guy and stick to him? Why do you have to chase after somebody who's in a couple with somebody else? So I like the fact that Tom asked her, how do you feel about Callum? And for her to sort of say, the Hideaway came out of left field, but, she likes him, but not like that because she's got the sexual chemistry with Tom. And it's like, oh my God. Just say you are after whatever Molly likes and that's it. It's okay. It's okay. People will understand. But don't pretend like, you liked this man. You didn't like him like that. And so the fact that she tried to kiss Tom doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't get what Georgia S is aiming for. I don't know whether she wants all the guys to be interested in her and then she gets her pick, and she forgets that there's always movie nights. So, Tom and Callum could eventually see this and it will leave her very vulnerable. And I like the fact that Toby has decided to take a step back and is not involving himself in that mess and is minding his own business. But hey, it is what it is. For Mitchell and Georgia H to have a conversation, and Georgia saying, oh, she was trying to respect Liberty, and it's like, Liberty, Mitch never liked Liberty like that. So for you to say you're trying to respect Liberty, okay, I guess. But Mitch himself is not bothered because he's never liked Liberty like that, and he's not bothered about anyone. I don't even know whether he really likes Georgia H or whether it's the fact that she's interested in him. I don't personally see what the girls find interesting about him, but hey, to each their own. You have Liberty by the fireplace, sort of speaking to Hannah and so you have Liberty at the fire pit speaking to Kaz and Hannah and sort of telling them that she's decided to let Mitch go. And it's like, girl, Mitch let you go on day one. You are the one who's been holding on to him. So please don't make a big deal out of nothing. And you could see the disappointment on their faces. They didn't want to tell her the truth. This is why I said the Islanders need to learn to tell each other the truth, because they all know she can never be fancied by Chris or Toby. She might like them, but she's not their type, and so they're never going to go for her. So for them not to tell her the truth and just tell her to sit down and wait, and for her to use the excuse that, they're always very nice to you. Maybe they're nice to you because they see you like their little sister and they're being protective. It doesn't mean that they see something romantic with you. I wish Kaz, as her friend, would have told her the truth that no, you need to take a step back. But then if Kaz does that, it might be mistaken for jealousy. So I guess leave her to fall flat on her face, just like she did in Love Island Games. Hey. So the Islanders get ready for the night, and I have a lot of respect for Georgia H because while the girls are getting ready, she has a conversation with the girls, including Liberty, in front of everyone to sort of say that she really liked Mitch when she came in, but out of respect for Liberty, she took a step back. And so out of respect, she doesn't know what to do because she still really fancies him. And if he had asked her out on a night out, she would have said yes. And so Liberty says to her, oh no, it's okay. If you want him, you can have him. And it's like, Liberty, you never had Mitch to give him away. So I don't get why you're sort of making it seem like you had this massive connection and things didn't work out and blah, 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 blah. You liked him, but I don't think he liked you that way. Anyway, the Islanders go for their drinks, and Molly has this toast about the 16 of us. I know some people might think it's cute. I don't. I think it has nothing to do with her. She needs to show she's bigger than that. She needs to take a page out of Kaz's book and just ignore it and just pretend like she's not bothered by it, because the more she makes a big deal out of it, the more Callum wins. So instead of bringing it up and going over and over about it, if she's moved on, then she needs to totally move on. You have the girls sit down having conversations, and so there's this conversation where Georgia H is sort of sitting down with Sophie, Hannah, and Kaz, and sort of just talking about her wish to sort of explore things with Mitch, but she wants to respect but she wants to respect Anton and Liberty, and so they want to wait until the dust is settled. And I have to give her credit, because that's very mature of her to do that. She hasn't gone to the terrace and kissed somebody behind somebody else's back, or tried to kiss someone on the terrace behind their partner's back, which I love. And so the guild, surprisingly, were honest with her. And yet they were not honest with Liberty. I don't know whether they think Liberty cannot handle the truth, because they said to her, there is a concern that Mitch, is not as mature as Anton. Do I think Anton is mature? Maybe, but he's quite petty. That's my thing. He's quite petty. So they have this conversation where they sort of tell her that, it's like you're moving from a man to a boy. And it's like, nah, I think she knows what she's doing. I think she knows that she's not attracted to Anton at all, and she thinks that if she wants to stay in the villa longer, then her chances are best suited being with Mitch. And so I give her credit for that. And so Kaz was in the middle of saying, oh, this villa is very messy because people keep changing partners, the people, it's sort of like, and someone else said it's like we're at a swingers resort. And then immediately the producers decided to send Hannah a message to say she's going on a date with Tyler. And it's like, that's not necessary. That really is not necessary. Kaz is doing her best to be civil and to be cordial. You don't need to throw this relationship in her face. It's not like we've seen Hannah and Tyler have any conversations. And so I like the fact that I saw this the last time. People were sort of talking about Kaz. Well, they were talking about Tyler, and sort of it was something that might have upset Kaz, and Molly quickly got over it and sort of changed the topic. And so this time again, while they were getting ready and Hannah was excited about her date, she was sort of talking to the girls. You saw Molly sort of turn around and look at Kaz and ask her, are you okay? And sort of hold her hand, because she knew that this is going to be hard. Whether it's, they might have dated for 3 months and they've been apart for 2 years, but still the idea that she gets to see him be with someone and be romantic, things that she might not have experienced, is not a good look for you. It's not a good feeling for someone. So I give Molly credit for doing that. Hannah is ecstatic. She is ecstatic. I don't know. We haven't seen this connection, so I don't understand it. And Tyler is getting ready. I like the fact that Toby was helping him sort of get his beard on point. And so they went off, and it's like, is this a serious romantic connection, or is it just two people wanting to stay in the villa and get as much clout as they can while they're still in the villa? I don't know. We'll see. Why does it feel like Hannah and Tyler's date was more of an interview than actually a date? Because of the conversation, it was nothing romantic. It was them sort of discussing logistics in regards to their dating and what they're looking for in a partner, and making sure that Hannah is comfortable with how things are moving. That's more or less what it was. And then they shared a kiss and off they went, and it's like, oh god. Anyway, they got back to the villa, and you could see, I think the producers were expecting a reaction from Kaz, and Kaz didn't give them what they wanted, because while Hannah was explaining about their dates, they focused on Kaz's face, and Kaz was fine. She was just smiley, and I think her sitting with Toby, because even when they arrived back, she was still sitting with Toby. And so I think Toby managed to really sort of get her to center herself and sort of refresh and get ready for whatever was to come. So whatever reaction the producers were expecting, they didn't get. And for Tyler to say, it was a great date, they will be moving from strength to strength. And it's like, okay, it is what it is. I don't see it. I think it's more a strategic relationship than anything else, but I might be wrong. We'll see. So you have Georgia S and Sophie on the terrace having a conversation, and Georgia S is sort of saying, she's telling everyone with ears to hear that won't go back and tell Callum or Molly. Well, she did tell Georgia H anyway that she is sexually attracted to Tom. And so there's this question, is it an attraction or is it just lust? And it's like, whatever it is, I don't know. It's going to be a problem in the sense that everybody seems to really like Callum. People really seem to like Molly. And the fact that she stole one from the other and now is moving on to somebody else, it's going to leave a bad taste in the villa. And I like the fact that Toby's not involved in that mess. I hope they send in someone for Kaz, and I hope they send in someone for Toby. But at the moment, it seems like Georgia S is going to be the villain in the villa because of the way she's moved from one guy to the other and hasn't sort of stopped to think of anyone else but herself. Yes, you are there for yourself, but still you have to avoid being messy and avoid sort of breaking up relationships just because you want to be happy. That's my opinion, and she sadly has failed, and my opinion of her has gone down the rabbit hole. So anyway, apparently there's going to be a voting for couples. I really just want Toby and Kaz to stay in the villa. Anyone else is free to go. But hey, it is what it is. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and click on the link in my video to watch my review from episode 11. Bye guys.